What the heck? Why Twitch? Why are you doing this? And no, I see that you said something. It's just not letting me see what you said. I don't know why it's acting up. Okay. Didn't expect you to be on. Didn't hear anything, no. That should be resolved now. Looks like its audio's coming through. Aman, can you speak real quick? There we go. Yeah, no, volume should be coming through. Let me increase your volume a little bit. But yeah, and Noel chat, everybody. I didn't, Aman, context for you is that I have been working like a dog. Because they have been constantly, speaking of, constantly pushing hot fixes for the X company I work for. And because of that, I've been working like nightly on midnight releases, which has been awful. But hear you. Thank you, and no. So yeah, because I've been working on those nightly, I was like, okay, I'm gonna take a hiatus from streaming because I don't have control over my work right now. But I was like, already rescheduled with you once. I'm not gonna reschedule again. We're gonna make this work. So yeah, thank you, and Noel, for letting me know. Thank you for stopping in. It was I called my hiatus and I was like, oh shit, I forgot I have a call with him on. So yeah, thank you for joining, guys, all of you, appreciate it. But yeah, I know some of you, or maybe I know, joined late. There's a couple, 3 people in chat right now, or in stream. You may have joined in late, so we're talking to a software developer. Oh, and no, Aman was at the it wasn't the Hacking 101. Which panel were you at? I don't even. It was Hacking 101. Okay, all right. So yeah, he was at that panel. I'm not sure if you remember Enno, but Enno is the guy who introduced me to Dragon Con, which got me to meet you. So
shout out to him.
Yeah, shout out to Enno. Shout out to Enno.
Was he there too?
Yeah, Enno is there. Enno's been going to Dragon Con for I think 10 years. Enno, if that's correct, with his wife, which is lovely and amazing. I love to hear it. So yeah, been going there since the 90s. Wow. So 1, 2, 3, 30 years. Yeah. Wow. And I look forward to going next. Are you going next year, Aman?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Awesome.
Really, you got to come to my Entertainment to Die For panel.
I'm all for it.
I think they're gonna make me a staple in the Silk Road track, because like there's a track specifically for Asian culture.
Oh, okay. I did not know that.
Yeah, that's another thing. I hate that North Korea is never represented nowhere. Like they ain't got no culture. They got some culture. So I just been showing up places like representing North Korea.
Mm-hmm.
Because it sucks that like unfortunately, because of their plight, because of their governments, they can't speak for themselves. They can't like be here, or at least in most cases. And so I'm like, I'm gonna go to all these places and be like, hey, I'm the North Korea guy. Here's some videos from North Korea. Anyways,
yeah. So and speaking of that, and just going in a little bit deeper into that, because like I don't know anything about North Korean culture. I don't think many people know anything about North Korean culture, because you hear North Korea, you just immediately are like, oh, authoritarian state. They are all basically like, you'll see the scary videos of like the fake stores and things like that. But
yeah.
I think I only hear him through your speaker. Audio isn't piped. What the heck? Sorry, give me 1 second. I don't know why it's not capturing your audio. Thank you, and Null. I don't know why that would be, but let me just fix that. Seems like once I went on break, everything kind of broke.
Be like that.
It'd be like that. Okay. Maybe that'll resolve it, hopefully. I don't know why that is. Man, that upsets me because I'm like, I hope your audio wasn't screwed up for a lot of this. Give me 1 second. Okay, so let's grab.
What are you using?
I'm using OBS. I don't know. Okay, no, that made it worse. Give me 1 second.
Oh, you're on Windows?
Yeah, on Windows. You know. I know. Not ideal, but here we are.
I mean, Windows is okay, I guess. I just can't do it anymore. Like, I live in the terminal, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. I live in the terminal. So, like, Linux is my everything.
Okay, and Noel can hear you now. Okay, awesome. Thank you, and Noel. God, I really hope the audio wasn't screwed up for most of this. But cool. Appreciate it, and Noel. I don't know why I said anyway. Whatever. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, I want to be of that mindset. Like that sounds as a game developer and an aspiring hacker. I'm like I want to be that guy that's like I I don't even touch the mouse, man. I'm just all about I'm on the keyboard all day.
Yeah. I I started using a distribution of Linux called Omachi. It's have you ever
Oh,
heard of
Cinna.
Ruby on Rails?
Sorry, real quick. Cinna with the raid. Thank you, Cinna. Appreciate it.
Uh-oh.
How's it going?
What is a raid? I don't know what a raid is.
A raid is when a Twitch streamer ends their stream. They're like done playing video games or whatever, and they take their audience and shove them over to somebody else.
Oh,
Yeah.
hey, that's what's up. Anyways, I won't get too techie, but I'm using a version of Linux that just came out recently. This version of Linux has what's called a tiling Windows manager, like window manager. So so basically I don't even use my mouse and keyboard, or I don't even use my mouse to move windows around anymore. It's all just keyboard, 100%.
Wow. I
I
mean,
I, I
again, it
barely
sounds
need a mouse.
cool. It sounds cool. And
Yeah.
what is the distribution? I'm forcing my friends to watch. Well, I appreciate it,
So
Cinna.
it's called Omarchi. Well,
Omarchi.
It's spelled like Omarchi, but it's pronounced Omachi.
Omarchi is how you
It's
spell it.
it's
Okay.
so basically this dude, he created a Linux for people who use Mac OS. So everything has already been decided, like you know how Mac OS is super opinionated. Everything is decided for you, and you just plug in and you use it, and it's super convenient. So he did that for Linux, and it's actually really, really good.
That sounds awesome. And also using Hyperland tilting window manager.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah,
Okay.
dude.
All right. But those of you rating in, Aman is a software or was a software developer who is currently working on building out tools to empower North Koreans to access information and truth, which is a complicated aspect. We've talked about a couple different angles, but I'm going to do a quick summary to the best of my ability. This journey started a little while ago in a super cool way of of meeting up with I suppose it was a fellow student who you were both musicians at the time, started talking about music. They are from South Korea, so and then encouraged you to move down to Atlanta. You moved down to Atlanta. Was it you? Did you move down to Atlanta for just the music at that point? Just for the
Yeah,
band?
the person that I met she was a foreign exchange student too. She
Mm.
was actually a black girl from Atlanta.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
A black girl from
So
Atlanta who also went to also a foreign exchange student in South
yep,
Korea. Gotcha.
yep.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Wow. Okay. Cool. And then um, you do that. You do wait. Are your guys' music public? Is that out? Can I direct people to something you've done?
Not me and her, but I
Okay.
do have music public.
Hey.
I was in a bunch of bands. Um, there's this guy whose name is his name right now is he changed his name to Gretzky to Sumo,
Rescue
and
the
it's
Sumo.
dude, it's really good. His stuff now is good, but I produced his first two mixtapes. The first one was called Dope Joints. This was back when I was a hoodlum, so we got super high.
A hoodlum,
I
a
don't live this
ruffian.
life anymore. I don't live this life anymore. But it was like we did a like Jay Dilla style mixtape of just like dope beats and just rapping. I think every song was about weed too, like or something. I can't remember.
And
And
what's the
then
name of the artist again?
so his name now is Gretzky. I'm putting it in your Discord chat.
Okay, okay.
His name now his music now is so good. I'm telling you. Gretzky
Oops.
Gretzky the Sumo.
Okay.
He's a big guy. Like he's a big guy. So he's like he's a big guy. He's into Japanese culture. Like we are both into that like Japanese anime culture.
Mm-hmm.
And like so now he's like taking on the persona of a sumo wrestler. Um but anyways, so one I got an album out that I did with him back when his name was Jordan the Great. His name used to be Jordan. Jordan Jordan the Great. Um, we did a music called "Die in Atlanta." We did a like a mixtape called "Die in Atlanta." I sold one song to Showtimes, the movie network Showtimes. Sold a song called
Wait.
yeah,
What is it? How?
yeah, dude. I'm telling you, I went hard with it.
I mean, this is the craziest journey. I mean, from music to software developer
Yeah,
um
I,
to security specialist who is helping empower North Koreans to access information. It's wild. What a wild
yeah, yeah.
journey.
There was a step in there too when I used to run a podcast studio. So I used to be in like the comedy scene, the local Atlanta comedy scene, and
Mm-hmm.
I ran a podcast studio, and one of my like best friends who came out of that era is now doing like Jimmy Fallon
Oh,
and like some
whoa.
great like he just had a Earl Sweatshirt on his show the other day. Like he's doing
Dude.
shows with like John Johnson. He's opening for John Johnson, if you know who that, or sorry, Josh Johnson.
Oh, yeah,
And
Josh Johnson got big relatively recently. Yeah.
yeah.
Wow.
So the guy, his name is Tevin Williams. Me and him, there's videos online of me and him in my house producing his podcast. Like
That's insane. That's
like
insane.
that's um I would consider him a homie, but we haven't talked in a while. I'm pretty sure he's real busy doing a whole lot of stuff.
Yeah, well, I would
Um,
imagine so. Yeah,
but
for
I was
Josh
like,
Johnson,
yeah,
Cinna, for
yeah.
Josh Johnson.
Yeah,
Crazy.
but I was like, I was in that life. Like, I really wanted to be in the entertainment space, like
Mm-hmm.
as a musician or whatever.
Yeah,
Really.
yeah. And then that switch to software development, when because you even stated you didn't have your degree, you dropped out when you had to make the move. So
Yeah.
it seems like such a dramatic step from music, I guess musical engineering to software engineering.
Well, so the thing was, so I've been in tech for a long time, so I go way back in tech. I used to like I used to like build websites for kids in my high school years. When I was in middle school, I built a website that was like, so I wanted to have a news company where we reviewed video games because I wanted people to send us free video games.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, well, if we review video games, people will send us free video games. So
Mm-hmm.
I made a website for me and my friends where we would write articles and things like that. So like I've been in tech for a long time
Yeah.
before college. Then when I got into college, I was like, basically, I was like, I pretty much don't need this. Like, I don't know why I'm here. So
Yeah.
That's one of the reasons why I was motivated, or why I was so comfortable with dropping out, because I was like, you know what? I think I can just use my skills where I'm at now and get a cool job, and then focus on what I really want to do, which is music.
Yeah.
Um, and so when I came to Atlanta, I did tech. So I was in the medical facility as a software engineer when I was doing music and podcasts and stuff on the side. Um, but I got to a point with music and stuff where I was like, I really had to think, because I started to get stressed from all the stuff I was doing.
Yeah.
And I was like, is the stress I'm feeling worth what I'm doing? Am I
Hmm.
going to make an impact so good, so big, that I'm willing to take on this amount of stress? And the answer was no.
Yeah.
So I walked away from music and entertainment and all that, um, and refocused my life on software, because I always had a natural talent. So I was like, what would happen if I just like locked in?
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
so so I stopped doing music. I sold all my music equipment, and I just really started focusing on software.
Yeah, and started that journey. Moved up to becoming a senior software developer at a startup. They're offered millions of dollars on their little idea. Not to belittle their idea, but it's a little idea. And you think, well,
Yeah,
fuck, dude, if they can get millions for their idea, I can do something. So in May 2022, you
right.
decide, you know what, I think I can do something along this line. I'm gonna start reaching out to people. I'm gonna start talking to people, and already you already had an interest, given your relationship with the other foreign exchange student of Korea, with Korea. And then you also find out through your education in South Korea that the dialogue is in South Korea. Nobody cares about North Korea. Don't even worry about them. And you're like, well, that's kind of fucked. So you take
Yeah,
it upon
exactly.
yourself to be like, no, I mean, if I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna do something for North Korea, because that's fucked and nobody really cares about them. But I see that they don't have a voice, so I'm gonna work to make them have a voice. So you go to Open Tech Fund. There you originally pitch an idea of a mesh network. For those that are less tech inclined, it allows. Uh, I feel like you'll do a better job of explaining it. Your original
The
pitch for
the
the mesh
device.
device that you
Yeah,
wanted to, yeah.
so it was really half baked. I know now that it was half baked, but
Okay.
it was very ambitious and kind of cool. Maybe I'll revisit it someday.
Yeah.
But the idea was like this. So it was, you know, actually I have this device on my desk. It's from a hacker convention. So
Mm-hmm.
it would have been something like this, where it's kind of see through. It clearly has a lot of, you can barely tell maybe, but it has a lot of components that you can, it almost looks like you can take it apart and all that.
Mm-hmm.
So it was going to be a device like this that you could use to send networks via a protocol called LoRaWAN. So this is kind of like, or not a protocol, it's a bandwidth. It's like a frequency bandwidth called LoRaWAN, and it's low, like it's really low bandwidth, but it's really high distance, and you can relay it to be super high distance. So the record right now, they uh, the world record for transmitting a signal from LoRaWAN, and it's a device that looks like this. It's like, I think it's 800 miles. Just from a single device like this, you can get a message 800 miles using this protocol,
Mm-hmm.
or this frequency spectrum rather. And so my thought was, okay, boom, I'm going to make a device that you can take apart, that uses LoRaWAN to communicate to other devices, or it can act like a relay, so you can have multiple of these chained together. Um, and you can take it apart easily. So if somebody investigates your house, you can put a button under your pillow. You can put the switch over there, or Wi-Fi cards over there, um, like real quickly. But once you put it together, you can communicate up to 100 miles or something like that. And you can send little messages in a really low resolution audio file, or like a recording of yourself, like a walkie talkie kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so that was the idea, was like, okay, this device, but to add to it, I was going to add like an educational component too. So
Mm.
that way, because I know that I can't really get any funds by selling anything from to North Korean defectors or anything
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
So I figure the bulk of the funding would come from selling this as an educational device.
Hmm.
So I could actually make it educational so that like a high school or something like that could get this and learn how to put this thing together and take it apart for like science, like programming training and things
Yeah.
like that.
I
So
mean,
that was the entirety of the idea.
I have literally bought kits. Do I still have it? I don't think I still have. It's probably in my uh drunk drawer of shame. But like I've created a like with Raspberry Pis and things like that. Like I
Yeah,
had made a little watch. There is like companies do sell this. Like it is a legitimate thing. Um.
right. That's what I
And
was
Noel,
thinking
sorry,
about.
really quick in the chat, and Noel said mesh networks can be very complex depending on the design and the hardware. Are willing to commit, yeah. Which you spoke on, and then he also mentioned low Roran.
Laura Wan,
Oh, okay,
LORA.
LoRaWAN. That's how you say it.
Yeah.
Gotcha. But yeah, again, really cool, really complex. But as you said before, it wasn't fully there yet. It wasn't fully baked at that point. But the
Well,
sorry, go ahead.
their feedback actually wasn't like their feedback wasn't this is a dumb idea, or like so they actually one of the things that kept me going was like they were actually like this is an okay idea. Like we're not mad at the idea. We just don't know how you're going to pull this off, um, because of because of the context of North Korea. Like I said, people really like convenience. So
Mm-hmm.
if the device has to be like if they have to learn how to take apart a device and put it back together, it's not going to do well in North Korea. They don't care about none of that.
Yeah.
They just want to know they want to eat. They want to find rice, eat, and
Right.
like survive,
Yeah.
and like all the stuff,
Yeah.
like real stuff.
Yeah.
Um. Anyways,
No. Yeah. And completely fair. But the what I was gonna say, excuse me, the importance of you meeting with Open Tech Fund and having that conversation and pitching that idea was that you got the feedback, and the feedback leading to what you're currently building out, which you can't get into too heavy detail for the sake of North Koreans and whatever you're building out appearing to have been built in North Korea, not from the United States. Otherwise, you're committing espionage, you're committing treason, just by having a non-North Korean device of any kind.
well, yeah, well, non like it has to be from a non-hostile nation in order for it to be good.
Mm.
So like Russia, if they have a Russian device, that's okay. Chinese device, that's okay. But if it's a South Korean device, now you're crossing the line. If it's a American device, now you're crossing the line. So,
Gotcha.
yeah, just to like keep them safe, you know, I just
Yeah.
yeah, you know.
Yeah. All right, and no, I'm circling back here just for the sake of those that rated in. Thank you guys for joining. Um, but let me go back to the questions here. All right.
By the
What?
way,
Sorry,
don't
good.
feel like you're taking up my time. It's really an honor to just be able to talk about this for real.
Oh well, I mean, and I'm happy to expose it because, as you said, like, and it's one of those classic things of like unintended. Oh, sorry. Hold on. Give me 1 second.
Yep.
I left the milk out like an idiot. But it's one of those things that you hear about it, and because it's kind of inherently uncomfortable, because you're like, well, that nation is powerless. Like they can't do anything. That like it's just an authoritarian thing. It's like I don't know, very other. Like we can't do anything. Let's not talk about it. Whatever. So I'm happy to expose any bit of information about this. And like I said, at DragonCon, Cinna, if you're still here, um, at DragonCon when I met you and you were talking about that, I was like, this is so cool because this isn't something. Of course, you put in something cute. Shout out to Cinna. Yes, so yeah, you were talking about this, and it's just not something that's often talked about. And then to circle back to our previous conversation regarding Negro spirituals and how that level of obfuscation through songs to empower people, it's already something that's allowed and that is a part of the culture that you're able to that Black people were able to leverage to as a tool for their freedom. And you're doing that in a different way with North Korea. So I think that's really special and important, especially I think I can say this, in the United States, where we are experiencing more and more authoritarian like behavior. Um,
Yeah.
so I think it's important that we, similar to like reading the amendments again and becoming familiarizing yourself with like what does authoritarianism look like, and even more important than what it looks like, how have people fought against it in the past and how are people fighting against it now? Especially,
Yeah.
again, your task of North Korea is daunting. Like, I don't, the balls to be like, I think I can help. Like, what the fuck? You think you can help North Korea? Are you fucking stupid? It's crazy. It's one of those crazy things of like, for one person to take it on is incredible. And the fact that you've been thinking
I,
about this for a while.
I know, but bro, if I pull it off though,
Right.
if I
If you pull
pull
it
it off,
off. If you pull it off, hey,
yeah,
hey.
yeah.
And if not, you die a freedom fighter, you know what I'm saying? Like, and
That's
I
what I'm
mean, not that
saying,
that's the
bro.
goal, but
No, but that's what I'm saying though. Like, yeah, I won't belabor it, but it's like, why not go for it?
mhm.
Like, if I successfully put some, like, if I get some progress in this, and like, then like, okay, if I become someone known for doing this work, and
Yeah.
if that's an important thing that people value or whatever, then we'll have somebody we will definitively have a Black engineer in the books.
Yeah.
That's all I
Right.
want. That's
Right.
all I want.
Right.
Just just put me in the books so we can finally have a Black engineer be somebody that like people can look up to, and like, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So
and it often goes. We were talking about it earlier in the chat before everyone got here. It's often something that goes um, unnoticed. Like the person that created the GIF was a Black woman. That was a Black woman who created that.
that's great.
The street lights that we use, Black person. The not the modernization of the light bulb, not the invention of the light bulb, but the modernization of the light bulb was from Lewis Latimer. Why? Because he wanted in like people from that escaped freedom to or got their freedom to be able to see at night, to be able to operate at night. So it was a pivotal thing for Lewis Latimer to push for that. But these names, right? The woman that created the GIF, a GIF, whatever you want to call it. I don't even know her name, right? And that's a shame. The person that created the streetlights, I don't know that person's name, but these are Black inventions and contributions that nobody knows about, but they're pivotal to our everyday life. The refrigerator, I'm pretty sure, was created by a Black person. Maybe I'm wrong on that. Let me just Google that because that's one I'm not sure about. Who created the fridge? Was it a Black person? Maybe I'm wrong. Several people. No, I'm wrong on that one. That was a Scottish inventor. Okay. All right. So ignore me on fridge. But yeah, it's one of those things that I think if you're not a person of color, you don't necessarily realize it. But if you don't see somebody that looks like you contributing to these fields, you think like, oh, that's not for me. That's why me, right? I'll talk about me for a second. The first thing that I thought of, like as I'm growing up, I think I'm going to be an athlete because I see plenty of us be successful as athletes. I don't see a lot of us be successful as developers. So I never thought it was a reality for myself until I saw Jabril's on YouTube. And then again, Aman, maybe you're that Jabril's for somebody else where they say like, oh wow, he's doing some really incredible work in tech. Maybe I can do that too. You know?
Hope so.
Yeah, yeah. All right. So
I also hate how or I dislike, I guess I won't say hate, but I strongly dislike the fact that tech has become this like hyper corporatist thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like like it seems like tech should be a tool that we use to make our lives better, not just
Yep.
to make margins wider. Like
Exactly, exactly. And that was the original conception. Like this was an early, I want to say, let's see, 1974. There was an author named Ted Nelson who wrote this book. I love this book, absolutely incredible. Computer Lib. I'm gonna show it on the screen real quick. Computer Lib, which talked about, hey, we see the rise of technology. We see how all these things are coming about. I think we also need to talk about how we're going to use it to ensure that we are empowering ourselves and not, I forgot the word he said, but essentially, and forgive me for it not being the most PC thing, but like retardating ourselves, like making us stupider and less capable as individuals for the sake of profit. And that's exactly where we're at right now. But this has been a discussion for 30 plus years of like this technology should be used to empower us and make us better, but we have used it to largely handicap our thinking. So yeah, so it's very important. Computer Lib, Ted Nelson, I heavily recommend. If you haven't checked it out already, please do.
Never heard it.
Yeah, really good. It's really good. I actually heard it. I want to say it was at Dragon Con that somebody mentioned it. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was at Dragon Con. Somebody mentioned it of the importance of how we should be thinking about our relationship to technology as technology advances. But okay, we touched on some really great points, but I want to touch on what were immediate concerns for me in your mission. Not for the sake of challenging it, but just to talk about this darker piece of North Korea. So you're thinking about implementing this. You want to give people access to information. How do you perhaps envision, like, this is a dangerous zone? This is a dangerous spot where you could be putting people in danger by trying to empower them. So is that something that you've thought about, or you know I know you've talked to other people about it, but like that's heavy that you could potentially be implementing something that could get somebody killed.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's and I'm glad you. So okay, so I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I really do like talking about my research.
Yeah.
Like I think I posted that meme today where someone was like, it's funny that I don't know. I won't go into the meme.
Yeah,
Anyways, I want to talk about
it
my
was.
research.
I saw it on Instagram. It was essentially like, "Oh, scientists are hiding it. Scientists are hiding this information." It's like if you talk to any scientist, you can't get them to shut up about like what
Yeah,
they
yeah, yeah,
like to
yeah.
research. That is it. And I'm like, yeah,
Okay.
truly. But go ahead.
So when I first so actually while building this, I'm building this thing that I'm building inside of a larger company.
Mm-hmm.
This larger company has already done these projects in other places. And so like they're an internet freedom company. There are a lot of like these internet freedom companies around the world, or maybe a lot is kind of a exaggeration, but um, a, a decent amount, maybe in the hundreds of these
Mm-hmm.
internet freedom companies whose research and mission is to just help underserved populations have access to internet.
Yeah.
And so I'm working with a larger corporation that's doing that to build my tool. And so this larger corporation gave me access to their researchers and the broad, like North Korean defectors and like all these, like it was really a good program. And while I was there, all of my questions were like, okay, but if I do this, will it make people less safe? And I asked over and over again, and I got a lot of different question or different answers. But baseline, reason why what I'm doing isn't going to make anyone more dangerous is, or rather more
Put them in more
unsafe.
danger. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh.
So the reason it's not going to do that is because the people that we are targeting are already doing the most illegal thing.
Mm.
So my tool makes it possible to consume media in North Korea. without leaving a trace on the computer. The reason it doesn't make people in danger is because the thing that is most illegal is the media. The tool itself is less illegal than the media. So if we can give them the tool and they already have the media, then we give them a way to lower their amount of danger.
Gotcha.
There's there's basically no scenario in which somebody's going to use my tool and not already be doing something illegal in
Gotcha.
North
No, it
Korea.
makes sense. Makes complete sense. Okay. Yeah, because again, that's something I was thinking about of like, yeah, it's great. It's truly great. And it should be done. But like, as I talked about previously, as you study and learn a little bit more about authoritarianism and how to fight you also start to realize like, okay, but right, the ruling class is never accepting of you empowering people, right? That's a big no-no. Circling back to the chat real quick, and Noel said most nerds of any flavor will talk about a subject as long as you're willing to listen. Yes. At Dragon Con especially, it was all about like, I loved approaching people and being able to just like talk about their costume for a little bit. I love that. Cinna said, I was about to say, I love sharing like hyperfixations and info dumping. Yes, info dumping is a love language of mine. Like, I love, like, if I can info dump on you, I love you 10 plus. Like, but yeah, Aman, what are you saying?
There is there is another dimension of danger that I'm wrestling with right now. During my time working on this project, or at least in the early days, I would call it the and what did I call it? I'd call it like the CVS effect. So basically, like I don't know if you know you. This isn't super huge news, but at the time when I was working on my project, or at least in the early days, I mean, because I'm still working on it. But at the time, it was news that like CVS in California started putting up like glass shelves to protect their like
Merchandise?
really the what? What'd you say?
The merchandise?
Yeah, yeah, to protect like high value merchandise.
Mm-hmm.
But they found more people stealing because of the glass.
Interesting.
Yeah, so
Interesting.
they put the glass and it actually made it more enticing to steal because a bar of like a bar of I don't know what soap or whatever, if it's just out in the public, it's like not worth that much. But once you put it behind the glass, now it seems like a high value item and people
Mm-hmm.
steal it more. So part of what I was concerned about is like, okay, so what if I introduce a tool into North Korea and my tool is successful in lowering how easy it is to find somebody consuming media, but by doing that, the government cracks down on it more. Because of that, other people are unintendedly, um, I don't know, surveilled more or something like that.
Yeah.
And I still don't exactly have an answer to that question. A lot of people assured me that, um, there are some people that's just like that's not going to be the case. Um, the tool isn't going to be so successful that the government does a widespread crackdown. Um, but I still do wrestle with that. I don't
Yeah.
know exactly.
Well, yeah, it's
But
a reverse psychology thing of like, hey, don't press this button, and then it's like now I kind of want to press the button. So yeah, it's definitely something to think about more. CGF in chat said I wouldn't trust a North Korean PC. Valid. Also, the U.S. What is it? Intel legally has to create a backdoor for all PCs in the United States. So like, we're no better. So oh, sorry, go ahead, Amon.
no, I was gonna say
Oh,
something.
okay, okay. So okay, that was the first like hard question.
Yeah.
The second question I had, where is it? Um, so you're posting more on Instagram. The goal is to be a little bit more known. Oh, that's everywhere. Yeah, and that's CGF. That's unfortunately the case. We are forever in a surveillance state, right? Like George Orwell's fiction is our everyday reality for the last 20 years, unfortunately. But circling back, you're posting more on Instagram, you're speaking on these issues, that inherently is not obfuscated. That is inherently putting your face in the forefront of like, hey, I am a person fighting for this information to be put out. Is there any concern or steps of obfuscation that you've put forth to separate you? Because it's a very common in the space to like have an alias and like not show your face, right? But you're doing the exact opposite. So you have your name, you
Yeah.
have your face out there. So is that a concern for you?
Um, no. I mean, yes, but no.
Mm.
Like there, I'm concerned more about the people that are around me. But one of the things that makes North Korean work so attractive to me is the people that are in it. Like Hannah Song, there's the CEO of an organization called Liberty in North Korea. Her name is Hannah Song,
Mm-hmm.
and all of the people that work for the organization, not all of the people, but all of the like C-suite, all of the chief people, all of the leadership, they all have their face on their website.
Mm-hmm.
It's a company called Liberty in North Korea. All of their faces are there. They speak out about North Korea, and they're not scared of nothing. So I'm like, hey, like it takes balls to do that.
It
At one
does.
point in time, I was like, you know, I guess afraid of it, but now I like in order to build the kind of trust that I need to build in order to do this,
Mm-hmm.
I think I have to have my face here. Like I have to be a person.
Yeah.
Um, yeah,
And that's a completely fair take. I mean, a big part of truth is journalism, and a lot of journalists have their face force up in front. Like
yeah,
I
I know.
forgot the name of the incredible journalist who was reporting on all of the activities in Gaza. But he recently, or not recently, but he became famous for this, and inherently you are putting a target on on yourself by doing so, to say like, hey, I am exposing this bad shit, and then the people doing the bad shit are like, okay, noted. So
Yeah,
yeah, that's something I was concerned about on your behalf, because I debate that for myself, of like, there's certain things with the U.S. I'm like, I don't know, but I will act and speak on these things anonymously, but not at with my face on it. But you doing it, giving me a little bit more bravery. CGF's in
you know,
chat said North Korea air gapping themselves at least. I don't think that was their intention. I mean, I guess it was their intention to air gap themselves, but yeah, I mean, that's one way to be secure, is to make sure nothing else touches you. And a lot of them have to flee and seek asylum. Yep, which we talked about as well. Aman, you spoke to people. It's a risk. Yes, CGF, absolutely it is. You spoke to people that have fled North Korea. You've literally had conversations with them as you're working. Well, I don't know if it was as you're working on the project, but you've talked to them. Has in conversations that you have with the people that have escaped this authoritarian regime, it gave you any more insight into how to better help them, or how has the conversations enlightened your research?
yeah, for sure. Um, well, how the
If it has, I don't. If you've had these conversations, and obviously
yeah,
it's given you some level of perspective, but I don't know, as you are fighting for these things, how that information plays a part into your process, or if it does, if it's just information that you keep of like, maybe that's your why of like, I got to do this because like what X person told me is so fucked, I can't stop working on this.
well, no, so it's changed my perspective in a lot of interesting ways. For example, I met a guy who was like a science Olympiad for North Korea. So he was like he really super smart guy. He was like a computer scientist for the government, and he even like competed overseas, things like that. Like, and when I talked to him, I told him like, hey, do you think what I'm making will be I'm telling you, I literally asked this to everybody. So I was like, hey, do you think what I'm making will be harmful? Or like, if you had this when you were in North Korea, would you have been afraid? Is what I asked him.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, why would I have been afraid? Like, what do you mean? I, and I was like, well, you can't have like illegal software or whatever. And he's like, I worked with the government. Like, I can have whatever I want. Like, the government's afraid of me. They don't want to lose me. Like, so there are actually people in North Korea who are more free than even the top 1%. Like they're so important in North Korea that they just can do whatever they want. And that's not something that I'd ever even thought to consider. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you know, there were people that, for example, like there were people that I met who had side hustles. Like you
Mm.
would never think of a North Korean having a side hustle.
Right.
Like or a hustle at all. Like no, who
Yeah.
I don't think of hustle culture when I think of North Korea.
Yeah.
But he had a side hustle. And not only did he have a side hustle, he had like a an innocuous side hustle. Like he like um I'm trying to think of an analogy of what he did without saying exactly what he did.
Mm-hmm.
But he did something like sell flowers or something like that.
Mm.
Like he sold flowers and that was just his side. He had a little garden. And he sold flowers or something like that. Like
Mm-hmm.
um, I never even considered that being a part of the North Korean experience. So there's a lot of little things like that that came up that informed my project for sure.
Gotcha. CGF acts import. Was he importing goods of some kind? I know you have to tread carefully without exposing this guy.
Oh, you mean the flower
Yeah,
guy?
the flower guy. Yeah.
No, not even, not even. It's literally like car washing. Like he was just doing something that like
Gotcha.
something super easy that anyone could do. Like he just built a name for himself, and that was his little side hustle.
Gotcha. And
And
because he's
he
uh
had a job in the government too. So
mm-hmm.
like he wasn't he didn't need the money per se.
Yeah.
He's just
But
like
again, that's
just for the love of
something,
the game.
and regardless of country, right? To be able to have capital is fuck you, right? There's a reason fuck you money as a phrase is because
Right, right,
you're able
right,
to do a little bit more than the average person. I heard Chinese
right.
black market was a thing, and I
Oh
can't
yeah.
speak on that. Aman, I'm not
Oh
sure if you.
yeah, I could speak on that. That's a big part of um it's a big part of North Korea, actually. So
Oh,
North
really?
Korea has, well, it has to be because, well, I was saying the other, like I had the one video that I posted the other day that popped a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
and that video was talking about how this lady was selling things on the side of the road. And so that is very common in North Korea. It's also illegal, but they allow it to happen because the government can't take care of the people. So the black market is basically the market. It's
Mm.
like like I don't have an accurate number, but let's say something like 70 to 80% of all goods sold in North Korea are on the black market. So you can't survive they can't survive without it.
Yeah. I mean, that's also crazy and so counterintuitive. Like it's like if you and I get it, right? Because the U.S., any country is gonna see illegal activity and let some of that shit slide. Like you're gonna let some of it slide because of the greater importance of this thing or catching a bigger person or whatever your justification for letting it slide is. But when it comes to that
Yeah.
aspect, your citizens largely are running their lives on illegal goods because you've made so much illegal. Like this doesn't. It's just one of those things. I'm like, doesn't make any sense. Like it's just so. I just don't get it.
The whole thing, it's corruption all the way down. So another big part is the financial incentive that the people who enforce the laws have for allowing them to exist. So basically, by allowing a black market to exist, you also allow bribery to become another funding mechanism. So like so you have a black market, you know the black market is there,
Right.
you let it rock, but as soon as you need some money, you could just go have some dude on the shoulder and say, "Hey, I'm arresting you for selling things," and force them to pay a bribe. Like
Yeah.
that just anyways, it's all
Yeah,
corruption.
it's crazy because like all of it, it always comes down to like class warfare, right? It's always like oligarchies or rich people that have power that are letting people be subjugated to a certain point because like they stay up on top, but and then the vast majority of people have to fucking scrounge around to figure shit out. Like, sorry, it just like it boggles my fucking brain that we're like every country is caps like structured to this extent by a ruling class that is well off and just will let people suffer. Like it's just the fact that it keeps happening regardless of country is just crazy because you think for me in North Korea I think well okay well it's only a very small portion of people that are benefiting from this level of corruption but also like you to your point even the people that aren't fully benefiting from this level of corruption are able to exploit that corruption by taking bribes and figuring out backdoors. It's like, dude, just
All
go
the
against the 1%. Like, just fuck them. Like, but yeah. And Noel said,
people.
sorry, real quick. CGF said might be right. And Noel said the harder it is to get something insane, in a sane, mostly in cost legal way, the higher the rate of the black market for it is. Exactly. Which is like when they're like, oh, we're gonna make abortions illegal in the United States. I'm like, you think that's gonna stop abortions, you dumb bitch? Like I just sorry. When the governments do stupid things, I'm just like, learn history. Has prohibition ever worked? No. They just find a different way. Like, just stop. You're so dumb. So sorry. Go ahead. I got frazzled.
Oh, you're good. You're good. Oh, you're good. I can't remember exactly what I was going to
Oh,
say.
okay. That's totally fine. Okay, let me circle back to questions because I have a couple more. I appreciate you taking the time, but I want to be also remain respectful because I'm those that don't know that may be showing late. On top of building all this stuff, Aman is also in school currently, so I want to be respectful of your time. Um,
Uh,
sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say I usually stay up real late making social media videos, but today I released one. I put that I put an easy one up today. It's just like a video of I found the opening for the children's block in North Korea, so I posted that.
Oh
Um,
yeah, I did see
so
that.
my social media time is good for today. So
Gotcha.
um,
Okay.
anyways, I'm
Uh,
good on time. I want to get into like I want to get your reaction to some of the stuff that I've been uncovering because I also produce a newsletter about North Korean technology and society, and we did an investigation recently about a hack, and we uncovered a whole lot of nonsense. And I kind of want to get your reaction on it,
yeah,
but
I think you
um,
gave me the sorry, give me 1 second. I think you gave me the
yeah,
link for that a little while ago, but like I said before, and chat knows, I have been are we still doing this? Sorry, I don't know. I've there has been constant hot fixes being deployed for my job, and
uh,
this one I'm not in charge of, but I do need to do the smoke testing for it. But I heard
okay,
that a different team is doing the validation. So sorry. You gave me the information about North Korea and the hack that you're talking about, but I have not had the
yep.
opportunity to look at it because of all this BS with work. So if you're able to give a synopsis or some insight into that, I greatly appreciate it since I wasn't able to really give it a good gander.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
But what was the rest of your questions?
Oh,
We could finish
yes.
your
Yeah.
question. So,
Let me try to do a rapid fire with these. Which we already talked about. I was like, okay, well, how are you going to monetize this though? You're going to help people. How are you going to monetize it? Because you have to fund it in some way, shape, or form. But I think you already touched on that with the educational element to the software that you would sell out. Is that correct?
well, so there's a couple of ways. First of all, um, grant, oh, dude, grant writing, getting good at getting grants is really, really valuable
Mm.
because there are entire organizations, tens of $1 million organizations that exist just because they got two people sitting that's 24/7 writing papers to people being like, this is what we do, give us money. And so that's so that's I don't want that to be my bread and butter, but in the early stages, I think that's going to have to be because I'm trying to do something for a population that's literally not able to pay me for anything.
Right. Yeah.
So it's going to be a lot of grants and funds in the beginning, but the goal is to build an institution that does this kind of work, which means I'm going to have multiple sources of income. One is also education that I'm thinking of, and I would love to have a cultural component too, like uh, um, yeah, like people really like to know about the media in North Korea,
Mm-hmm.
so I think it might be interesting to have like a I don't know.
It could be like a Patreon or something like that. Like I've seen, tech projects get funded in certain ways like that. I don't, something to think
Yeah,
about.
yeah. I'm thinking about all. So like, there's this North Korean artist who
Hmm.
he escaped from North Korea, but when he was in North Korea, he was a propaganda artist. So
Interesting.
yeah, his name is Sunmu. His art is sick. I'm telling you. So like, he took the North Korean propaganda style, and now he does it like within he could do it with anything, right? He's free now, so
Right.
he has some corporatist kind of stuff where like Andy Warhol kind of stuff where he's making fun of corporations. He has like he has like yeah. Anyways, it's some beautiful. It's like really cool stuff. So
Yeah. I'm sorry. I was just looking him up to try to put in chat. Um,
yeah,
it's
um,
genuinely very beautiful. Let me put this in chat right here. Here is a North Korean defector and artist. That's his name. Let me put that in chat right now. Um, then it said, "Oh my lord!" I think that was during the point of me talking about the U.S. thinking abortions and prohibition is a good idea. Which why? So dumb. Let me see. Um, Amnesty International, CG CFG posted in the chat. Of course, great organization. I know them primarily from I forgot the name of the woman, but we got a rapid fire because I may have a deployment to reconfirm at 11. So let me
oh,
go into that. Talked about the
okay.
monetization. How does the tool actually work? We already talked about that. Um, this is a more humanitarian, human Amon question. You're pursuing this. You're pursuing your education. And those that work in tech, those that are software developers in particular, know like it can be right. You staring at a terminal or at a some IDE of some kind for hours. And it can be you working like you're working on content. That is again a solo sport. There's a lot of this work that is inherently solo, but you are reaching out to people as well and talking to them. Given that the bulk of this work, the hard bit of this work is solo, is there a concern uh, or a feeling of like loneliness as you're pursuing this? Because that seems like even in software development, like I've been my ex, for example, like I would be with talking to her, whatever, but then I have an idea and I have to rush and get it out, and then shit, it's been 2 hours and I've been working on this. Like, it is not a track that is inherently social. So, like, how are you staying sane and not giving into the loneliness of this pursuit?
Well, uh, to build an organization, I can't do it alone. I literally can't do it solo. Um, in fact, on some level, I would have preferred if it were able to be done solo, but I can't do it alone because I don't have an underground network that connects to North Korea. I have to make these partnerships with people and get them to trust me and trust them and all this other stuff. Um, and you know, I hired an investigative reporter or investigative journalist for my newsletter, and so I'm really not alone very much at all. But
That's
I
not
also
something you
still
hear
do.
often from developers. So that's, I mean, that's encouraging. That's nice, truly. It's just not something
Yeah,
you hear often.
I kind of wish I like. No, I wouldn't say I wish it, but I do miss the days where it was just me and some code for 7 hours a day.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's now it's like talking and communication like most of the day, and maybe I get an hour or 30 minutes to do some writing. Um, so it's actually really, really social right now. That being said, I do still feel the loneliness. It's um, uh, maybe just an unfortunate consequence of my my plight in life, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I just have that deep internal loneliness. I think it's something that a lot of men are suffering from right now, um, and I do too. Um, but I do have a lot of people in my life and a lot of people that are helping me. Um, so I'm not really alone, I guess.
Again, I mean, it's really encouraging, because as I was writing down that question, I was like, because again, it happens with just me in the pursuit of like Twitch streaming and game development, these things, like where it's like it can be lonely when you're pursuing this thing alone. But the fact that you're not alone and you are pursuing this as a essentially a group project, but while you are the foundation of it, is really encouraging and nice to hear. Um, CGF asked, would you consider doing propaganda for North Korea as funding and cover? I don't know. I don't.
Propaganda for North Korea?
Yeah, I don't think you could do propaganda for North Korea. Or if you did, I mean, I think
I
you'd
would
be. Like,
I would love to do it. That would be awesome.
would you?
Yeah, I mean you could. Or wait, no, wait, maybe
As a
I
cover
misunderstood.
for fund. He said, would you consider doing propaganda for North Korea as a cover and wait, as funding to like fund your project and as cover to like obfuscate
So
your
I'm getting confused on the for question, or like the for
like
part.
they're
So
allowed
propaganda
social
for
media social influencers. Like, would you be a social influencer for North Korea to fund your project and cover obfuscate your involvement with access, giving them access to information?
who would be my target audience? North Korea?
I suppose the North Korean government. This is CGF's question, which it's a valid question, CGF. So I'm all for it. I'm empowering your voice. I want to hear
Well,
Amon's take on this.
I I don't know. So I still think I'm misunderstanding the question. I'm going to be a propagandist working for the North Korean government, or am I going to be a propagandist talking to the North Korean government as an American?
I think it would actually be the latter. I think you would be like an American who's saying, uh, when Trump like will go out and be like, oh, you know what,
Okay, I see
Zelensky
what
is
you're
not
saying.
so bad, and it's like, okay, but it's like, oh, but an American is saying this and they're free, so maybe it's not so bad. Oh wait, sorry. He said no. You'd post it on Western media showing the world how good North Korea is.
No, I don't know if I would do that. But what I am trying to do though is I'm trying to dispel the mythology of North Korea. Like there's a lot of there's a lot of unnecessary mythology about North Korea that people just buy into because we don't know very much about North Korea.
Mhm.
But if you like dig into the details, it, to me, the details are more interesting than the lies, but the lies are really sexy and quick.
Mhm.
Like saying that North Korea got caught cheating in the Olympics is
Oh, I
like
did see
really
that
sexy and
recently.
quick.
Yeah.
Yeah. The truth is like a little bit more complicated and kind of sassy. Like so for me, it's like anyways, I want to uncover that kind of stuff. Or like saying like saying like people don't have phones and or like there's people say like there's no Wi-Fi in North Korea. But there is Wi-Fi in North Korea. And I don't think I don't have to make North Korea seem like this place with no Wi-Fi in order to also say we should still help them. Like we
Mhm.
need help for sure. But also they do have Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Now, does that Wi-Fi have internet access to the outside world?
Right.
In some cases, yes, it does, but not for the majority of people.
Mhm. Gotcha.
So
Okay.
anyways, yeah.
It's a good
So
question, CGF, is it, or CFG? Is it 100% a good question?
sure.
My last question. Oops. Well, I posted him on Instagram. That was meant for the end of the chat, but I put him on Instagram in the chat so you guys can access that and follow up with him and see the work that he's doing. Really good work. Um,
Nice.
um, but my last question is about North Korea. You've talked to these people that have escaped. You have spent the time to learn about the culture. You just touched on the aspect of wanting to seek to expose not the sexy lies that are told, but the more titillating truth that is or just underneath the surface. So, what is the truth of North Korea? What is the soul of North Korea that you would want to expose to show people, because we just see the authoritarian government, but we don't see the people and the culture that actually exists underneath that authoritarian government.
Well, the truth that I'm trying to expose is what I'm trying to do. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to separate the government from the people of North Korea because it is 99% of people in North Korea have nothing to do with the perception of North Korea, but they get roped into the perception of North Korea
Yeah.
almost implicitly. So even explicitly in some cases. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to separate that. Like
Yeah.
there should be nothing controversial about saying like this this TV show from North Korea has really good animation.
Mm-hmm.
Like that should be like a non-controversial statement. But saying that statement, it kind of had like there's a little bit of moral ambiguity in that statement because we don't want to support the government,
Right.
but and we shouldn't support the government. But also, it was individuals who made these shows. Like
Right.
Kim Jong Un isn't an animator,
Right.
so I can say like this person who's probably in a complicated system has a really good animation style without glorifying um, the government. And so what that's really what I'm trying to do um, is just separate those two entities so that way we can say the landscape of North Korea is beautiful. We can say North Korea has beautiful buildings or like cool architecture, or maybe they're really good at sports or whatever. Like we should be able to say things about North Korea that have to do with the people
Mm-hmm.
and not feel like we're glorifying the government. Because once we do that, we can fully make these people human. And when you feel that the humanness of the people of North Korea and you understand what they're going through, I think more people would be motivated to get involved. So that's what I'm trying to do.
That's beautiful, man. I love your mission. I love that I was able to meet you at Dragon Con. I look forward to future conversations for sure. Is there anything? Yeah, sounds reasonable. Exactly, CGF. Is there any closing remarks before we close out for tonight?
Um, well, if you feel motivated at all, definitely check out some of these organizations. I don't have any specific association to any nonprofit working with North Korea. I'm just doing this all like as an individual. But there are several nonprofits that do this work, specifically work of getting people out of North Korea, like Liberty in North Korea, if you're in America, Han Voices, if you're in Canada. Those are two great organizations. Crossing Borders, another great organization. Um, so check out their work. They've been doing it for 50 years or something. That's all.
And excellent testament to character that you're like, let me shine the light on people that have been doing the work. I love that.
For
And
sure.
CFG's closing remark is, don't randomly die. Mysteriously disappear as you take one trip to North Korea and then we never hear from you again. So yeah, stay safe out there. Obfuscate. You're a cyber pro, so just stay safe out there. I will be sure to clip a lot of this and post it on IG, and I'll tag you in all those posts. Yeah, Cinna just said thank you for sharing the project with us. Yeah, it's really cool. It's really, really cool. And I was very grateful to Cinna as somebody I actually met at DragonCon as well. So really cool convention, and I'm so happy to have this conversation. I should be sure to follow up with you later. But thank you guys. We are going to be rating another developer who works on Godot, game developer. And Aman, have a great night, and chat, have a great night. See you guys.
See ya.
All right.
We can say text here. Yo, J Jupiter. Thank you for the raid. How's it going? Feels like we actually store the BBC. We're asking for issues later. You mean store it this way? This text? J Jupiter, how was your stream? Thanks for hopping in. Key value pair, yeah, for sure, Cedar Hammer. This is a little side project. We're on a side quest. Basically, we're making just a little widget that'll sit in like the top right corner, and it'll be like streaming tools and like a to-do list and maybe a timer, maybe a soundboard, maybe it'll show Twitch chat in it. And it's just a reason to like start fresh in Godot to show people who are interested in what starting fresh in Godot is like and how to use Godot in general without being like neck deep in a yeah, we could do that without being neck deep in a project. Just mean like actually change the value. You like this way? Okay, yeah, right on. So this should work, and let's test it out now. I don't think our box will look pretty because of that BBC, but we will. Oh, things are broke. Hold on, I know why. Rich text label. There it is. Fun talking to a cybersecurity guy about how they're building tools to help. Oh, North Koreans. Who's helping the North Koreans? Hope North Koreans. Building tools to help North Koreans? What country are they from? Oh, and you know what? Now we probably got to reassign it too because it changed type. Yep, here we go. Label, drop it in there, save it again, play it again. Oh, I see. Okay, helping North Korean citizen. I got you. Thanks. Get followed, bud. Like, yeah, let's shout out J Jupiter. And that gives me an easy way to click a follow button.